Okay, so I share my screen here. Thank you very much. So I think that I want to actually discuss the undiscussables. So Ricardo talks about the action, the commitment, and I think I really liked what Ricardo said. And he said that if you want to now look at the future, you can't look at the past because this is really new. So when you look at the future and you have to action it, and there is a lot of commitment required, what are the undiscussables that are coming up? What are the things that are under the carpet? One, when we move from physical to virtual, the first one that's going to happen is that people are going to have excess psychic energy. What does that mean? They have excess mental energy. What does that mean? That means that if we had a survey right now on the Mentimeter, that how many of you are multi-screening? How many of you are, take it in inverted commas, cheating on your attention sphere, a mind share, throat share, eyeball share? So what happens is that the moment people are on mute, the moment they are not on video, their monkey mind, their wandering mind has got full freedom to go wherever it has to. And that's going to be one big issue. Freedom can become licentiousness in terms of mindfulness. That's one thing that we'll need to take care of, which leads to then attention disorder, and which then leads to the confidence of the moderator, because the moderator is trying to say something and people are not responding. But in great sessions, what happens is that people forget whether it is a virtual session or a real session, because there's deep engagement. When you're in flow, there is self-forgetfulness. You become the golf ball. So there is no difference between the golf club and the golf ball, and Nihali Csikszentmihalyi wins, Karam Yog wins. Which then brings me to why I gave the compliment to Jyoti. Which brings us to the main thing: content is the king. But she really, really completed that sentence by saying, but context is the queen. There are various types of people sitting there. So if content is not the king, and the moderator goes on talking, then very soon people who are now not locked eyeball to eyeball with the trainer, where the trainer moderator does not capture them by their body language, what happens is they go away. So cliched wisdom begins to suck. And the more you keep talking about stuff that they already know, their mind says, hey, meanwhile, let me accept this on LinkedIn. Meanwhile, let me Google on Devakar Roshali. Meanwhile, let me Google on Yadav Mehra. Now that becomes a very big challenge. So that's one of the undiscussables. So obviously, that's where Lead Pro comes in. That's where Devakar comes in. So one, content is the king, context is the queen. Really, the content has to be, right now, imagine, I mean, we've got about 100 people listening. Right now, if I started talking about how to handle a hysterical husband, nagging wife, pestering child, shakuni boss, sharp colleague, suddenly the eyeballs are back. Suddenly the attention span is back, which is why if we are catering to the within of the audience, which is what's in it for me, then suddenly virtual is real. But virtual does not become real very easily unless content is king and queen. I think this company, Shubham and Devakar, will play a big role in getting all your senses involved, which is Gyanindriya, Karamindriya, organs of action, organs of perception. We got to make people click their fingers, they've got to see, they've got to hear. They can't smell the computer, unfortunately, and they can have their coffees together and say, what are you having? So I think the experiences will have to become multi-sensory. One more thing, I've got 1.5 good news for smaller companies. I was losing businesses to campuses of INSEAD and ISB, and people would want to go and stay in the hostels there. But now they have a campus, so do I. So I think there's a lot of transparency that comes with technology. So people have to watch out for their competence and also not so competence. So I think is a great leveler. So that's going to be another one. And personally, I feel the job of the moderator has become quite difficult. I've just done a session in the morning with one of the big fours. And I had about 30 people, and all of them are muted, and all of them are on a WebEx. It's not even a Zoom, and WebEx is a heavy platform. It's not user-friendly, can't transition, can't write so easily. Sharing screen is a bit slow, but it's a robust platform. Now, what I told them early enough in the session is that, look, gone are the days where it's my job to entertain you. I'm not here to entertain you. We've got to share the responsibility of your learning. So discuss that upfront. Take it from right under the carpet, put it on the table, and say, look, we got to share the burden. I'm not going to say you hooked off, you vanished, your dog came, your child came. It's okay. Your dog comes, we'll do together something about it. Last one in my 9 seconds is we got to remember internet is still not as smooth as electricity. We got glitches, and Devakar, thanks for joining this session on the phone because I know you lost your broadband, but you are one cool guy who joins this session with your phone. Thank you very much for smiling. My 5 minutes are up. Thank you very much.